It's Confessional Sunday. So watch, guys, let me tell you, I was not looking for another vehicle when I got it. I was actually, this is Confessional Sunday, so I was actually taking my car in to get new wipers because it had been raining so much, and I was like, it needs some, right? Because since I got it, I've never changed the freaking wipers. So I had it in service, and knowing when you actually take the car to the dealership, it takes like hours. It takes hours for it to actually finish. So while I was waiting, I thought, instead of just sitting down, because I kind of get like anxious, like I went outside and I just started like minding my own business, right? Like walking around. And then I hear some like footsteps behind me. So if you guys have ever gone shopping with me, I do not like being followed or bothered, like, hey, can I help you? It's like, no, don't help me. I like to do it alone, or if I bring somebody, like that's it, right? Like, don't bother me. So I started kind of like rushing, like to get away from this, like the footsteps that I was hearing behind me. And I start to hear, miss, hey. So I was like, oh. So when I actually turned around, of course there was a salesperson like what kind of car are you looking for? And I'm like, I'm not looking, but thank you. He goes, how come, I saw you go like to the service, like, is your car messed up? And I'm like, no, it's not messed up, like I just need wipers, that's it, I'm just waiting. And he goes, well, while we wait, would you want to get into a new car? And I'm like, sure, like let's waste our time, right? So we hopped into a 2021 car, and man, did I fall in love with like the moon roof and like all the little new gadgets that it had, right? So here I am, wasting my time, wasting his time, and we are enjoying like a new, the new car smell kind of thing. I started falling in love, right? And I started kind of like hating the car that was like in service. So then he goes, hey, so what do you think, Myra? Do you like it? And I'm like, who wouldn't like it, right? And I asked him like, what kind of car do you have? And he's like, not this car. And I'm like, well, what I am falling in love with is the moonroof, right? Because I've had a convertible before, but I've never had a sunroof, moonroof, and I figured that my family would really love something different in a car, right? Which would be the moonroof. My car had actually been messed up by Blue Wave, right? So I actually went in and got a regular car wash, and it turns out that their spinning machines that actually like scrub all the shit off, it had yanked off my back bumper of my car and really messed it up. And I didn't know until I actually got off the car, because they made me reverse, because I couldn't go any more forward. They made me reverse my car, and I saw the whole damage that their machines had done. And unfortunately, they decided that their insurance was not going to pay for the damage that it had done to my car. I figured since I only needed like $5,000 left to pay it, like why not keep it? But this salesperson was doing his job well, because I was really wanting to get into a new car, like bad at this point, because we kept jumping from car to car to car, trying to see if he can convince me, to get one. And he finally sat me down and he goes, let's look at your credit. And I'm like, okay, sure, but I still have this car under my credit, so it probably will not pass, right? Especially because I also have like my student loans. And I told him, like, even if it does pass, I don't have any paperwork for you. I did not go in with hopes of buying a car, so all I had, if anything, for him was my driver's license, and that's it. Because my current car was insured, but I wasn't prepared to come out with a new car. So if I'm being honest too, my last paycheck stub was in November, so it's freaking the end of January, so a November check stub was not going to help him try to get me a new car, right? So I felt like he was just wasting his time until he comes back. This guy came back and he was like, well, Myra, I talked to my manager, and guess what? And I'm like, here we go, right? He's gonna try to like hook me. Sure enough, he hooked me, and he goes, hey, we got you approved for a new car. And I'm like, oh yeah? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, how much does this payment sound? And I'm like, okay, but what's the catch? You know, like, how much down do I have to put? And he goes, nothing. We're getting you approved with like nothing down. And I'm like, come on, like, who are you kidding? Like, this is sales. Like, I have to put something down for a new car. So to wrap shit up, like, yes, he hooked me. I didn't need any paperwork, and he just goes like, hey, like, do you like this car? And I'm like, yes, like, let's go, let's wrap this shit up. Like, I'll take it. But anyways, guys, this is Ashley Sky, and I love you.